in Maine, the hunting season for them is going on now. It's already the beginning of the second week of the bait hunt for the black bear in the state of Maine. But did you know it's not the only way that you can take a bear in Maine? You can obviously use conventional hunting methods. Believe it or not, also, did you know that that deer hunting tactics, the similar tactics and strategies you'd use to go about trying to kill that trophy whitetail buck that you're after, they can transition over to bear hunting, and obviously over to hunting other critters like the moose or going after coyote. And believe it or not, you may already know this if you're an avid turkey hunter and deer hunter, that you can use deer hunting tactics to go about killing a turkey. You can use turkey hunting tactics to go about killing deer. All the different hunting methods that you and I have learned through the years going up, they can be useful for pursuing many animals out there, many game species. And so, yeah, you could take bear in Maine. Holy crud, why is my throat like that? I just come from a bear hunt, everybody. Let's see, I've been after a particular bear. Was this my fifth or sixth sit? I don't know, but I've got a really big bear that finally showed up to my bait site. I've been pre-baiting for a month. I had an average size, younger, smaller bear that was a regular almost daily. It would hit the bait like 2-3 nights in a row and then disappear for 3 days or 2 days and then come back, hit the bait for a couple of nights in a row and disappear. And that bear was regular like that, doing that. And then finally a big one showed up last week, and I think it had come to the bait for just its third time. So it's starting to learn my baiting strategy, my baiting habit, my baiting pattern and stuff. The bear, it's been going up and down the path I used to and from my bait site and sniffing me out, smelling all the different odors and scents. I mean, this big bear is trying to figure things out. And he has been coming. The earliest he's come to the bait was like 9:30 p.m. But when he first found the bait and came to the bait, it was like midnight, 1 in the morning. And I remember going into bait one morning and hearing something running off, I think. And I looked at trail cam pics. That bear, the big bear, had been there like around 1 a.m. and I went into bait like around 6 a.m. And I think I run him off. And so this big bear is trying to figure things out. And I baited yesterday morning, didn't bait today, hunted, got skunked, nothing. I didn't see a bear, but I did. A deer walked the ridge to my right up 50 yards from my bait site. I saw a deer tonight at my bait. But what I do, this is a strategy I use when hunting. A lot of times I lessen the amount of times I go into bait. Less human disturbance is sometimes really good for these big, old, trophy class, mature bear that are just on pins and needles and they're very nervous Nellies coming to your bait and stuff. So I won't bait tomorrow morning. I'll go in and hunt, sit it, get up in the stand nice and quiet or good and early and hope the bear comes in. See who's showing up. Jason Gibson, hey buddy, how you doing? Thanks for coming on. I missed you last Monday, Jason. How's your hunting going so far, Jason? Share with everybody. So Jason Gibson, everybody, he's a regular. He's been trying to get a bear here in Maine too. So Jason, go ahead and share some of your experiences you've had so far bear hunting with Katcha McGee, yellow belly liver. Stay focused is on here. Hey, did you kill those 2 bears behind you? Yes, I did. Stay focused asked if I killed these 2 bears. Now, stay focused. Yeah, hey, all of you, stay focused. That's actually the name of this person's YouTube channel. Just come on and join me live. Stay focused. This bear behind me over my right shoulder, I shot with my bow and arrow in New Brunswick, Canada. This is a Canadian black bear. This bear behind me over my head, was that my first black bear? This was my first black bear. I shot also with my bow and arrow. I shot all of the first string of bear I've shot, like 8 or something. The first 8 black bear I shot were all with a bow and arrow. And the first one I ever shot was up above my head. This is a bear skull to over my left shoulder. And that bear skull is to a bear I shot last year with my 12 gauge shotgun with a slug. And that marks the first bear I shot with a slug out of a shotgun. And then I have a skull up here, a bear skull. That was, no, this bear here. Oh, here's up close and personal bear skull for everybody to see what a bear skull looks like. This bear here I shot with my 270 a couple years ago with my rifle. This bear marks the first one I ever shot with a firearm. All the others were all with a bow and arrow in the beginning. So this is a Maine black bear. That was a Maine bear. This first bear I shot ever. My first bear over my head was a Maine bear. But this one's a New Brunswick, Canada bear. And this bear is the very first shoulder mount I ever did myself. I've been doing learning taxidermy for the last 3 years, and I've done these euros, and I did this euro here. I bleached and whitened. I cleaned and whitened this bear skull. I don't do too bad of a job. Comes out really. Okay, say who else is on here? Eddie. How you doing, Eddie? You murderer, he says. Thanks a lot. So, Eddie, I take it you don't hunt? Do you hunt, Eddie? Probably not. You're just checking things out. But welcome, Eddie. We welcome you. Even if you don't hunt, maybe you'll learn about black bear. So how much do you know about black bear, Eddie? Since you think I'm a murderer, what do you know anything about wildlife conservation, Eddie, and how important hunting is as a tool in the wildlife conservation model? The whole wildlife conservation model as a whole, it's worthless, useless without the tool hunting. And don't you know, you got to think and consider here for a moment, Eddie, that all other methods of controlling the carrying capacity of animals, and obviously there's a carrying capacity for us humans too. We can overpopulate a country, the world in general. We could. There's a carrying capacity for every living creature thing on our planet Earth, and when the carrying capacity exceeds threshold, if we get above threshold, that's when problems arise, when diseases spread and starvation occurs, more bear and car collisions happen, more bear and nuisance bear problems occur. So I don't know if you knew this, Eddie, but obviously birth control methods have been used. Billions of dollars have been poured into from the Inland Fish and Wildlife, and from and also from people, the general public, giving money, paying in towards these efforts, these birth control efforts to control deer populations, bear populations, moose populations, coyote populations, fox and turkey populations. All these birth control methods have failed time and time again, and have almost landed the Inland Department of Inland Fish and Wildlife and game wardens biologists bankrupt, and the state bankrupt, and it's all been a waste of money. Sharpshooters were hired with birth control and darts. These are methods that have been tried in many states and all around the nation. Sharpshooters would be hired to go out at night with birth control and darts to dart animals, to try to put birth control into the bloodstream of the animals in hopes to control the population that way. And there's been other methods, obviously trying to live trap the animal and insert birth control that way. And all sorts of different methods of controlling populations have failed time and time again, and millions of dollars and upwards of $1 billion have been poured into it and have failed. And it all comes back, full circle, comes right back to hunting, as hunting being the number one tool that makes the wildlife conservation model a success. So I didn't know if you knew that, Eddie, but I thought I'd share that with you. So thanks for calling me a murderer. So I guess you take all these other folks on here. Like Fat Boy Mike said, I killed a bear with a desert eagle because it hurt my dog. But did you know, Fat Boy Mike, this Eddie is calling us murderers. I take it Eddie's not a hunter. Oak Ridge Taxidermist, thanks for coming back on here. I think you've been on here with me live before. If anybody gets a smaller bear, I'll buy the full hide. So, hey, everybody that's listening, Jason Gibson, if you get a small bear, you want to sell your hide, Oak Ridge Taxidermist would like to buy. By Justin Gower, says, I killed my first bear with my bare hands. Hey, would you like to expound on that? Oh, he said down here, says the Sioux tribe gave me the name Little Chicken Butt. So Justin Gower, are you a Native American, Justin, or something? Or Jason Gibson says, Deer, grouse, and rabbits, no bear action yet. I anticipate seeing some this week. Yeah, that would be awesome. So Jason Gibson, buddy, I saw a deer tonight. The first deer, since I think I sat for the 6th time at my bait site, and I had a deer come in about 50 yards up the ridge to my right and go out towards the blueberry field out behind me. So I saw a deer tonight, and porcupine, squirrels and such and so forth. I've got a gray squirrel that hangs around my bait site, but I haven't seen a bear yet. But obviously but Jason knows I've got bear coming. It's just a matter, you really got to just put in your time, right, Jason? It's all in due time. You can't pattern these animals. Black bear, you cannot pattern and put there is no telling when a black bear will show at your bait, or if you're using deer. I said earlier in this live stream, I was opening how here in Maine we can take bear by conventional hunting methods, maybe like using your deer hunting tactics methods, and to go after the bear, because you can hunt them a lot like you do deer using the regular conventional hunting tactics. And then obviously we use bait here in Maine to take bear, and then we can not live snare, live trap, but we can trap a bear in Maine. And then there's also a dog hunt. We can hunt with hounds or bear dogs. We can take bear using those 4 different methods. And I where I was going with that is, see, Jason said, yeah, so that, like, if let's say you're sitting over a really hot food source for bear, you're ambushing a bear in a stand over a feed tree, maybe an acorn tree that's got fresh bear signs, fresh bear scat tracks. The bear had been feeding under that oak tree up in the mountains, and you're ambushing them with the wind and thermals in your favor. You're up and maybe you're in an area where when the thermals drop, your scent might go away from. You want to just make sure your scent's going away from where you expect the bear to come from. But I mean, you could sit for days on end, a week, couple weeks over a feed tree, hoping a bear comes and shows himself. And all the bear signs, they're telling you the bear have been there. But it could take eon. You might get skunked. You might not be successful. When all of those of us that are hunting bear over bait, it can happen to us too, man. I've been 6 nights sitting on my bait. The trail camera showing the bear have been hitting it, coming in daylight too, and some after dark. And I still haven't had a bear come in since I've been sitting there. It's not a slam dunk. It's not a guarantee baiting the bear. It's not a guarantee trapping them, hunting the dogs. There's all sorts of things that can happen that can make a hunt unsuccessful. And then sometimes, like flipping a light switch, all of a sudden everything follows a script. And it's all right, poof, and the hunt just comes all together and got yourself a bear. So you just never know. So Justin Gowerth was born in us. So Justin says, no, I'm French Canadian. So Justin, I don't know if you were on here when I was telling everybody that this bear over my right shoulder I shot in New Brunswick, Canada. This bear's from Canada. I shot with my bow right here. So welcome, Justin. Thanks for coming on. Justin says, I attract bear by singing the entire catalog of ABB. I think Justin's just trying to be funny. But that's, hey, to each their own. Hey, thanks, Justin, for being with us. So let's see. Stay focused. Who am I missing? Eddie, are you still on here, buddy? I asked Eddie if he hunts. I don't know. He might have left. Let's see who's still with me. Oh, yeah, some people are dropping off. Some are still with me. No, it doesn't look like I missed anybody, so hi, everybody. So I've had years where I want to use last year as an example. I was going to say I've had years where I've hunted bear, and I killed one like right away last year on my first sit. I didn't hunt the first few days. I think I missed 3 or 4 days in the first week of last year's bear hunt because of the blueberry harvest. I was still working at like 14-hour days during blueberry harvest and stuff. So I missed the first handful of days in the first week, but I think I got to go and sit my bait site on a Thursday evening. Opening day was like the Monday. So I missed like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Got to sit like the 4th evening of the opening week last year, and the big one that had been shown on trail camera coming to the bait, he had been coming mostly after dark when there was no shooting light. But it just so happened that the barometric pressure was rising. It was It's just a really cool day. It was over kind of cloudy. Cool day. It was cooler than normal for that time of year. Last year it was like 20 degrees cooler. It was going to drop into the 40s to almost refrigerator temp that night. And the temperature was dropping fast. It was getting nice, cool, and comfortable. And just everything all just played out perfectly. It just felt like a good night. It felt like the bear were going to be on their feet early, going to feed. It was just one of those nights. And the bear come in on my very first sit, happened to be the biggest one that had been coming to my bait last year. And it was a nice, and this is the skull to that bear over my top left shoulder. And he dressed out, field dressed 240, maybe live weight. That bear could have been 280 plus. Big black, that's a big bear for Maine. I mean, these are average size black bears. For the most part, the majority of your people going after bear, going on a paid guided black bear hunt in Maine, Canada, or anywhere, they'll shoot bear about this size, average size like these. These were all, I think this bear over my head was 155 pounds dressed. This was a female bear too, actually. That's a big female bear. When back in college, when I went out with Randy Cross and his biology colleagues and to a bear den. I studied wildlife biology in college, and I got my bachelor's of science in wildlife biology, and from Unity College in Maine. And I got to go to bear dens, to where biologists tranquilize the bear to kind of just take some bone samples from them, blood samples, bone marrow samples, to check the radio collar or put on radio collars or to put ear tags in the bear and stuff like in the cubs. And this one particular bear that I went to with the biologist back in college, she was a sow with 4 cubs, and she was live weight 100 pounds. A full-grown adult sow, live weight 100 pounds, had 4 cubs. So you don't know. And like this bear right here was under 200 pounds, probably 100 and live weight 180, field dressed maybe like 130s, 140. This one was shot in New Brunswick, Canada, but this bear was shot in Maine and was a sow, female. And this one was a boar. This one was a younger, probably a 3 to 5 year old male that barely weighed 200 live weight right here over my right shoulder. And this was a full-grown adult female bear that field dressed like 155. So you really don't know how big they're really going to be. They also have long fur, long hair. They're hard to judge. Black bear are extremely hard to judge, even when at your bait, when they're close, when you're trying to judge their size and age and stuff. But there's telltale signs to go about. There's things to look for and key in on to judge your bear. See, Jason just wrote some more. He says, so Jason Gibson says, I know there is one within a mile from my hunting blind, and it's just a matter of time before it comes through. I got bait apples, trees, beech nuts this year. It'll show sooner or later. Yeah, hopefully it does. I hope it does, Jason. My throat's been scratchy. So it happens when you sit for like 4 hours on a stand over a bait site not talking. The throat can get dry and crackly. Let's see, Omar Missy says, Marhaba, keep up the Shadow Motel. I don't know what he means by that. Let's see. So it looks like there's a handful of you that are sticking with me. So what I was going to say was judging black bears. They're judging their age and size. Can be very tough. If you Google this, we went on your phone right now or onto your laptop, and you Googled and searched, how old is a 200-pound black bear? What will come up in your search is they're typically 3 years old or older. So what's that tell you? If Google's saying that, if you're searching this, researching it, that's saying that all your bear under 3 years old, they're most likely not going to be 200 pounds live weight. So when a bear comes into your bait site and they got, like this was a smaller size. This bear here probably wasn't much older than 3 to 4 years old, between 3 and 5. And you see its ears are fairly large looking on its head, but this was a male. And up here, the ears look a little bit smaller in relation to its head. This was an older bear, and even though it was a female sow, but if it looks like the bear has Mickey Mouse ears and its ears are close together, the general rule of thumb is the further apart the ears are on the head, the blockier, wider, more creased looking the head is, and the smaller the ears look in proportion to its head, and the further apart the ears are on the head of a black bear, the older, more mature that bear is, and more likely that bear weighs over 200 pounds. Because a bear that's got, so what the ears, and the same goes for your dogs and your puppies and kittens. We all have, most of us have had, probably 99.9% of us that are here with me live right now have had kittens or puppies. When they're young, their ears are close together on their head, but as they grow, the puppies and kittens grow, develop and get bigger, the ears kind of grow further apart on their skull as the skull expands and grows and the bones form and finish maturing. Same thing with your black bear and on your deer and moose and all animals. The ears get, how you could tell. This is the one surefire way to tell that the bear is an old, mature bear and it is a shooter bear and is probably over 200 pounds live weight, as if the ears are far apart and more off to the sides of its head, and its head looks wide and blocky. And how you can tell if you've got a male black bear versus a female. See, this is a boar back. This is a male. This one here. See how its nose is more streamlined? Your female, your sow black bear, it looks like when you're looking at them, from their eyes, from their forehead down, the forehead will slope. It'll look like you took a dog muzzle, and just went bloop and put it on the nose of that sow, the female. But on a male, like you see back here on boars, it doesn't look like a muzzle. It's more aerodynamic, streamlined, more flush. The nose kind of becomes more flush with the forehead. There's that, and obviously your male bears, they're going to have a narrower rear end. A male black bear, and an older, mature male boar black bear, one that you can be certain is over 3 years old and over 200 pounds, probably live weight. And they're going to come in with wide, thick shoulders. Front shoulders are going to be wide, and they're going to walk with a stature, like a male-like stature. Your females are going to be more narrower in the front end and wider in the rear end. Obviously, this same thing goes with us, female humans. Female humans usually are wider hip, because obviously for child rear and childbirth, and they've got to have the anatomy and the structure to be able to handle the birthing of offspring. So no different than when you're with your female bear. Your female bear are going to have wider hips, and their rumps are going to be kind of rise in the back. They're going to have bigger rumps and be more narrower, streamlined in the front end on your females. Your males are going to be wider in the front, like an American bulldog or something. They're going to be real wide, muscular shouldered. And their legs are going to be probably bowed out, and they're going to walk like the hoss of the woods, the male bears will. And they'll be more narrower, more streamlined, and less wide in the rear end. And they'll be tall, and they'll stand taller. They'll be long-legged, your males, and broad-shouldered and blocky-headed. And how you know you got a shooter is those ears are small in relation to its head, and they don't look like Mickey Mouse ears, and the ears aren't close together. Let's see who else is on here. Anyone else come on? I've been live for 23 minutes. Anyone have any questions? Who else is with me live has been, besides Jason Gibson, who else with us here has been hunting black bear? And have you had any success? Are you still with us, Oak Ridge Taxidermist? Oak Ridge Taxidermist would like to buy a small bear hide, the full hide from a small bear. Are you still with us too, Justin Gower? Justin he says he's French-Canadian, and he was born in Australia. He says, I attract bear by singing the entire catalog of ABBA. I think he was just being comical and funny. So anybody have any questions? See, I see a couple people just joined us. If you're just joining me live now, I just got done talking about how to judge the size and age of your black bear. If you're hunting black bear, if you're new to hunting black bear, they're an extremely tough animal to judge and to age, to tell if you've got a shooter bear on your hands. So, they dropped off. No. I'll be darned. I think too that a lot of the guys that have been with me live the last several Mondays aren't on here because they're probably it's a day you can hunt, and there a lot of them are probably still traveling from their hunting grounds, or they just retired, just got back to camp or home from a bear hunt, and they're tired and exhausted, and they don't care to be on YouTube probably. But let's see, we got some new guys on here. Ethan, Kate, have you ever accidentally shot a person? No. That's an interesting question. Ethan, Kate, are you a hunter? Do you hunt? I have not accidentally ever shot a person. Not, I mean, when I was a little boy, kid with making little toy bow and arrows and stuff and playing with my friends out in the yard and the woods, we may have like shot each other with our little toy bows or something, but that was when we were kids. Yellow belly liver says, do you use all the parts of your game? And so I do taxidermy, so I mounted this bear back here, and let's see this skull. Someone has asked me, do I use all parts of my game? See, I still have the cape. Here's the skull to the bear I shot last year over my left shoulder, and I have its full cape. The cape would be what you see on these mounts. That's your cape, the skin, the fur. That I got them, the last couple bear there in the freezer, the capes, and I'll be tanning them, preserving them, and then you can. What's really cool is you can boil down. You can take the grease. I didn't know if you knew this, yellow belly liver, but bear grease is better than butter and better than some of your oils for cooking. You can even use it to waterproof your boots and stuff. You can render bear. You can render the fat of bear. Take all the fat off, fat trimmings and stuff off the bear, and render it and extract the grease and oil from the fat from the bear. And didn't know if any of you knew this, but bear grease, bear fat, it is great stuff. Great for cooking with and oiling up things and lubing things, and you can use it for a lot of stuff. You just have to just Google this, research it, search it. But yeah, I do utilize and use a lot of parts. You know, my 12-year-old son actually prefers bear steak over deer steak. He loves eating bear meat. We eat bear burger, bear stew, bear steak. We eat all the meat and then obviously render the grease from the fat. And I even salvage their skulls and use them, put them up, bleach them and clean them like this. This is a bear skull, and I'll mount them, preserve their hide, their capes. Let's see, any other questions? No, I've never. How silly of a question is that? Have you accidentally shot a person? I don't know. Would I be sitting here as a free man alive on YouTube if I shot someone? Come on now. See, Joe Details says, I have mom and cubs. They have not come back. I think they're in the corn. Cool. Yeah, so Joe just come on here, Jason Gibson. Jason Gibson says, I got trail cam photo of a bear this spring. Would like your opinion on size and gender of the bear. You got an email? Yes, I'll get that email to you, Jason Gibson. It's hold on. My email is wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. Yeah. wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. Oh my word, it's like don't judge my handwriting. It's wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. Oh, hold on, Wild Maine. I see Joe just come on here and he says I have a mom and cubs that so the thing is with black bear is they won't if you listen to a lot of podcasts, the podcasts I recommend that you listen to is the Bear Hunting Magazine podcast with Clay Newcomb or the Bear Grease podcast. And you listen to the podcast with him, with Clay Newcomb. You'll learn from like the more experienced bear hunters that he has as guests. They've all said that a bear won't leave a fresh, lush, healthy, nutritious acorn for your bait site. If the natural feed is plentiful, there's a lot of it, there's less of a chance for a bear to come to your bait when the food is plentiful. And there, for obvious reasons, I've said this in previous live streams and video and uploads on my YouTube channel, Spikes and Gills, that the bear, they undergo high anxiety, high stress. When they're coming into an unnatural food source, which would be your bait, 55-gallon drum full of human food, full of donuts, cookies, stuff that we've gathered. It's just not natural to them in a sense. They're coming in on pins. They're coming in highly stressed. Anxiety is high, and you got to think they're not going to want to go through that, feel all that stress, high stress, constantly day in and day out. If they happen upon like really a feed tree, an acorn tree, which would be an acorn tree dropping fresh, luscious, nutritious, sweet acorns at that point in time, they're going to gorge themselves on the acorns long before they'll go back to your bait site. I think that's why the bear aren't coming in often, like at nightly into my bait sites this year. They're disappearing for as many as 3 days at a time before the bear are coming back to my bait. And there's one that hasn't even shown up now for a week. It's probably, I believe I have been seeing some green fresh acorns on the ground already, just a few. So it's likely that if a bear haven't come to back to your baits right now, it's because it's about right now the acorns are starting to drop and the beech nuts are starting to drop from the hard mass, and the bear are climbing these. The bear can climb acorn trees, oak trees, and eat acorns and break off branches full of acorns to fall on the ground and later to scale down the tree to eat. And they can get acorns long before deer do. They'll be climbing these oak trees after the acorns and eating on them before a white-tailed deer could ever start eating them. So it's a good chance, Joe, that and in your case you're saying corn. They could be yes. Right now too, the corn would probably be a food source they'd be honing. If you're hunting bear in an area that's got a lot of cornfields, the bear are notorious for wreaking havoc on cornfields and like really high bear density areas where the bear population is huge and there's lots of cornfields around. The bear, they flock to those cornfields. So yeah, that's a good bet. You're probably right, Joe. See, it says, so did you get that email, Jason Gibson, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com? Let me, hold on a sec. So, I don't know how many are still with me. So these are my 2 books, Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets. And the links to order these through their PayPal links, they're in the description below all my videos. You can go into the description and click on the PayPal links to order the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You. This is my another book of mine. This is like a field guide for tracking and awareness and kind of honing in your skills as a tracker and a woodsman. And this is all about, this book is about woodsmanship and woodsmanship skills and tracking skills and how to hone your, this is really, it's not really talking a lot about hunting. This book is actually beneficial for anyone that's an outdoorsman that wants to hone their woodsmanship skills. That's what the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You is about. The Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets is obviously a hunting book. And it's got chapters on bear hunting and deer hunting and coyote hunting, fox hunting, and all that stuff. It's a 5-section or 6-section book. It's broken down in sections, this book. It's like, this makes a good coffee table book. It's got a lot of photos and it's broken into sections. And so the links to order these are in the description below of all my videos if you want to order a copy. Yeah, there's bobcat hunting section in here, black bear hunting section, deer hunting section, coyote hunting section, fox hunting section. Hence my photo of me with a red fox, and because I like to hunt, I predator hunt too. I like to hunt bobcat, fox, coyote, bear. Look at that big bear in there. Look at that huge bear. That was black bear hunting. Chapters 8. There's like a handful of chapters on bear hunting, and then there's here's some more pictures of bear and stuff. So Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets, and the link for the PayPal link to order this book or any one of these of my books is in the description below. So I got this out because it has my email in it. But Jason Gibson wants my email. I'll just try writing it again. My penmanship, my handwriting was horrible. It's Wild Maine Outdoors @gmail.com. wildmaneoutdoors@gmail.com, Jason Gibson. If you, so you can, yeah, so Jason Gibson wants me to age. Oh yeah, Jason Gibson says, I haven't read your books, but I have read a couple of your articles. Yeah, in Jason Gibson, I wrote for the Northwood Sporting Journal for like 10 or 12 years. I lost count. And just this year, I kind of put my monthly article writing on the back burner. I stopped writing for the Northwood Sporting Journal because I've been going live every Monday. I've been uploading regular mainstream episodes on my YouTube channel weekly and several shorts. And I'm obviously doing taxidermy and stuff on the side. So I've got a lot of logs on the fire. Too many. Yeah, I'm just a busybody. I had to give up something to kind of give me a little more time to do the other things. So I decided to stop writing for the Northwood Sporting Journal. But that's cool that you've read my articles, though, Jason. So I wrote articles for the Northwood Sporting Journal, for the Outdoors magazine, and I had an article get published in the Bear Hunting magazine. Just one though, but I have had. I think that magazine's right. Yeah, that's the Bear Hunting magazine. Clay Newcomb's the editor for that. I've had one article published in one of Clay Newcomb's Bear Hunting magazines years ago. So I've used to write a lot. I have a third book that I've started that I'd like to eventually one day finish. But I've got the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You, a great book for any outdoorsman. It's a non-hunting kind of style book. This book is targeted towards anybody that just wants to enhance their woodsmanship skills and stuff. That's what the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You is. But this one's for all you hunters out there. Wild, Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics. And there's interviews in here with biologists and other hunters, really well-known hunters, and guides. I've interviewed guides and biologists and hunters from Wisconsin that had come to Maine. I've interviewed So there's tidbits of information and cool stuff in this book from biologists and guides and other hunters. Not just me, and obviously my own personal experiences. Some of my hunts and stuff are in this book as well. It's broken down into like 6 sections, and it makes a great coffee table book. And both of my books were in all 6 Sherman bookstores across the state of Maine, and in non-such bookstores in Portland and South Portland and in Biddeford. And they've been in other ma and pa stores, like stores locally around the Bangor and Old Town. They were in the Old Town Trading Post. I think they still may have some of these books in the Old Town Trading Post. So you can find some of my books in some stores around Maine, but you can order them through on Amazon. You can. They're also ebooks. My 2 books, Wild Man Outdoors and the Sit Spot. They're also ebooks. You can order the ebook and download it on your phones or computers or Kindles, iPads, things like that. So they're ebooks, and you can find the ebooks on the through lulu.com, LULU.com, or barnesandnoble.com. And obviously the PayPal links to order any one of my books is in the description below my videos. But Jason says, I haven't read your book. So I did. Okay, yeah, thanks, Jason. So Jason did send me that email. I'm actually going live on my phone right now. Well, hold on. All right, Jason, stay with me, buddy. Get my laptop out. This is the editing. This is my brand new Apple laptop. This thing, I bought this a few months ago for editing my episodes and stuff. Push you guys back a little bit so I can open up my laptop. So, Jason for those of you that are still with us, Jason emailed me the trail cam picture of a bear that he wants me to look at, to try to age and judge it, see if it's a shooter bear. Am I missing anybody? Who else is on? Omar. Anybody else have any questions about bear hunting or bear in general? Oh, let's put in my password. Oh, there we go. She's loading, firing up. Okay, Jason, just bear with. If you're still with me, Jason, I'm going to bring up that email now, and we're going to look at that. I'll look at that photo of that bear you sent me. We'll see how old this thing is. Are you guys still with me? Oh yeah, there's the, I think it's still going. Yeah. I had to disconnect something. I was trying to connect, my phone was trying to connect to something on my laptop. So let's go to the email. Here we go, here we go. Email. So anybody have any questions or what? Oh, what the heck? So, I don't know, Jason. Here, can I do this? And then, hold on. What is going on here? Here we go. Go there. I'm almost there, Jason. Hang with me, buddy. So here we go. So all of you that are still with us live, I'm opening Jason Gibson's photo of the bear. Yeah, let's see. Let's open her up. Oh, wow. So here it is, everybody. Here's a photo that Jason Gibson sent me of a bear. What do you think, everybody? How old do you think that bear might be? How big do you think that bear is? Jason Gibson, who's on here with us, would like to know. Jason, it might be a young boar, a male. It doesn't look like a muzzle. The ears, that ear looks slightly small in proportion to its head. I mean, it looks kind of short from front, like lengthwise. It's got kind of a, it looks like, look, the way it's standing in that photo, Jason, it looks scrunched up a little bit. It's not like stretched out and elongated, and it's kind of, I think the bear's standing at an angle, I think. But it looks to be good size. I bet that bear is over 3 years old. Somewhere between 3 and 5 years old. And oh God, it's got to be live weight, almost 200 live weight, 180 to 220 live weight. Is that about what you were thinking, Jason? Maybe 3 to 5 years old, 180 to 220 live weight. It looks like a shooter bear to me. It's one I'd shoot, especially with my bow and stuff. Looks like a shooter bear to me. All right, who else is live with us? Who else on? Anybody else have any questions or bear pics you want to email me? So thanks for sharing that, Jason. That's definitely a shooter bear. If this is a particular bear you're hoping to shoot, Jason, it's a good one to take. Don't be ashamed of shooting that bear. That's a good bear. Oh, cool. And look at this is last year's buck. I shot this buck with my bow. It was a 202-pound dressed 9-pointer shot with my bow. That was last. I've got the mount done of him. He's on the stand downstairs. His mount's done. I got to do the finishing work on him, the airbrush and epoxy, and do the finishing work on this mount of this buck and get him on the wall. But anyways, so I've been live probably long enough. It's almost been an hour. It looks like I got some newcomers, a handful of people just joined us, everybody. Hey, those of you that are just coming on here, you missed it. We were talking all about baiting black bear and judging the age and size of black bears. If you're just coming on here, if you are a bear hunter, let us know. Tell us how your hunt's going so far. And, it looks like they went away. Yeah, it looks like they dropped out. All right. Well, I'm pretty tired. All right, Jason, hey, thanks for coming on here live with me tonight. I'll be back here again next Monday night. So those of you that are still with me, I'm going to transition to moose hunting, talking all about moose and moose hunting the next several Mondays. And then after that will be deer, all about deer and deer hunting. all the live streams every Monday night will eventually be everything to do about deer, deer biology, facts around deer, current events around white-tailed deer and deer hunting tactics, methods in general. That'll be way more fun than to talk about. But yeah, thanks for your opinion and analysis. I figured it was older, and it's quite a bit bigger than most I've seen. I figured it was a boar, not much at guessing their weight yet. But yeah, no, I think what you thought, Jason, I believe to be fairly correct from what I see in the photo. So good luck. Hope you shoot him. That'd be awesome if you got this bear, Jason. I hope you do get one, buddy. So have a good night, Jason. I'll see you on here next Monday night, or just you'll be dropping comments on my next episode anyway. I'll be hearing from you soon, so that's cool. We'll have to. You're here, right here in Maine, Jason. So me and you need to eventually hook up on a hunt and go on a hunt together. And if you like ice fishing, Jason, that's a great event to hook up with friends and make new friends. Ice fishing is a great thing to do to network and talk with people, meet new people, make new friends. So we should go ice fishing sometime, Jason, or go on a hunt together. I'd love that. So, and obviously I'd film. It could end up on my episodes, some of my videos. Sounds good. Cool. Have a good night, Jason. I'm gonna be ending here in just a sec, but so looks like just a couple new people just chimed in. So you were late to the party. Sorry, but I'm ending right now because I've been live for 46 minutes. Everybody, I go live every Monday night, but I don't know if next Monday night's live stream will be about black bear and per se. I might start the whole moose content next Monday night, and in my last upload, regular episode video, mainstream video upload on my YouTube channel, Spikes and Gills, the last one on bear, the last episode for the series of bear hunting content videos that I've uploaded. The last bear video will be this weekend, and then I'll be uploading videos on moose hunting and what to do when you shoot a moose, how to get moose out, how to go about scouting and finding moose, and what to expect on a guided moose hunt, and how to prepare for moose hunts and all that sort of thing. And obviously I'll be sharing some cool facts about moose and biology about moose and current events around moose hunting in general, stuff that biologists have told me and taught me about moose. All that will be to come in future live streams and videos on the Spikes and Gills YouTube channel. And then after the moose content will be everything to do with deer, white-tailed deer and deer hunting. So thank you for joining me live, everybody. And I hope to see you back here next Monday night. Hope to see you on here every Monday night, actually. Let's build a nice, awesome community here, a community all around that has to do with hunting. I'd like to build a strong YouTube community on my live streams with folks that like to enjoy the hunts like I do and you do, like enjoy the bear hunting and moose hunting and deer hunting and turkey hunting and all that stuff. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, thank you for joining me live, everybody. I'll see you next Monday.